Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Dr. Doc. This is episode 5, and I'm so thankful that I've been able to reach this milestone because making 5 episodes of anything takes a lot of consistency, and I'm proud of myself for doing that. So, and thank you for all the support so far. And this week, as I mentioned last time, is another doozy of a documentary because it's made news all over the world for the past couple of weeks and resulted in a lot of protests worldwide, especially Russia. And I know some of you know what I'm talking about. So, before going into the details, let's go into the intro. All right, so the documentary that I'll be reviewing today is called A Palace for Putin by Alexei Navalny and his political party. I'm pretty sure some of you might have read in the news about who Alexei Navalny is. For those who don't know, it's a short introduction. He was a lawyer based in Russia, and he slowly started organizing protests and community meetings and slowly began to sort of build a political party of his own over the course of the last 10 years. And today he stands to be the most fierce competition Putin has in Russia. And he's been in the news since the beginning of his political career, really, because he always spoke against Putin very openly in the media, and he has been hailed as one of the only sort of people in Russia to openly talk about Putin in such a way, because you know how Putin is. So over the course of the last 10 years, he's built a political party of his own, has thousands, actually millions of volunteers who work for him. And very recently, Alexei Navalny, he sort of was very open with what he was telling the media about Putin. And I think over the last couple of months, he was also poisoned with the Novichok poison. So, and he was sort of admitted in hospital in Berlin, and then he came back to Russia in the third week of January. And the moment he landed in Russia, he was arrested. And after his arrest, he released this documentary called A Palace for Putin, which mainly talks about a brief history of who Putin is, who his associates are, what his dealings are, how much money he's made over the past few years. And then you go into talking about his palace, the vineyards he owns, the absolute sheer amount of wealth that he has amassed as the leader of Russia over the past couple of decades. So it's a 2-hour documentary. It's available on YouTube. I think the last I saw on Navalny's channel on YouTube has around 6.5 to 7 million followers. And the last I saw, his documentary had 102 million views in about 9 days. Immediately after the release of the documentary, there were large protests on the streets of Russia across the country in different cities, and there is a lot of opposition for what Putin is doing right now in the country. So, especially by youngsters, similar to what we saw in India last year for the CAA and NRC protests. So, there is a revolution happening in the world, and it is happening in Russia through the release of this documentary. So let us look at the treatment and how he has made the documentary, because it's very interesting. So the treatment, 4 parts to the documentary by and large. The first part talks about a brief history of who Putin is, who his associates are, how he came into the politics of Russia. And then he also ends up talking about the kind of money he used to make as the mayor of St. Petersburg, and then slowly becoming the premier of Russia. So Navalny is the narrator of the entire documentary. It's about 2 hours long, and the most interesting part which I noticed over the entire course of the documentary is that he has continuously talked. Navalny has not taken a breath, a pause. He has continuously spoken. He's spitting out names, facts, numbers, details, maps. There's a lot of research that gone into this. after he gives a brief history of Putin, he then jumps into the palace itself, which has been in the news because this palace is so huge and it's in the coast of the Black Sea in southern Russia that it is a kingdom in itself. It's been protected by the government. Even though Putin has come out and said that the palace is not his, why is the government protecting it? Like, if there's a no-fly zone, you can't get near it, you can't see what's happening inside. So it's very secretive and it's absolutely huge. You need to watch the documentary to understand the scale of this place. He gives immaculate details about what is being done in the palace, who is funding it, all of that. It's just crazy to see that that much amount of money is just being poured into a personal sort of palace with like jacuzzis and like golf courses and hockey stadiums and stuff. Anyway, after that, he goes and he tells us that this is not the only thing that Putin is sort of building for himself. It's also he has vineyards. So this is the third part of the documentary where he talks about the amount of land that he owns, which has been transformed into premium vineyards, and wines from these vineyards are served in the Kremlin to foreign dignitaries, all of that. And this is personally looked after by Putin and his selected teams. So the amount of money that's poured into that, the kind of very bizarre sort of ornamental tools that are used in the bathrooms and the halls and all of that. So the people who are protesting have been holding toothbrushes and toilet cleaning brushes and all of that as props to signify Navalny talking about these things, because the toothbrushes and the cleaning brushes that have been used in the bathrooms of these vineyards cost millions and millions of euros for something that is not going to be used at all. Maybe that's the amount of money that's being spent, and furniture from Italian furniture houses, all of that. So the third part of the documentary talks about the vineyards. Fourth part, essentially, he wraps it up by saying why Putin should not be at the throne, what he's doing with taxpayer money, and why and the kind of linkages he's made as to where the money comes from, who is funding this, what are the different projects that are being overlooked, to sort of, the corruption is being overlooked, sorry. So he sort of connects all the dots and he gives us a very vivid picture of the politics of Russia over the last 2 decades. And I think it's been very well researched, number one. Number two, the amount of work that's gone into it technically, like the shots, the script, there's a beautiful animation, a detailed 3D animation of the palace itself, because you don't know what the inside looks like. So there's a lot of research gone into that, and then a 3D render has been made of that. So he has invested a lot of money in making this, for good reason actually. So it is very well thought out, very well researched, very well made. It must have taken him months to finish this, and very strategically released after his arrest. So a lot of work, a lot of thought has gone into this, and that's what I appreciate mainly about this. And of course, Navalny, the fact that he has not taken a breath over the course of 2 hours, to sort of just keep continuously bombarding us with shocks and facts. So very well made, for what it's worth, within the time frame, and an absolute treat to sort of watch, because I was bewildered for half the duration. Like, I had my mouth open like this for quite some time. So that concludes the treatment aspect of it. Now I have some thoughts which I want to share with you. So obviously I never planned to watch this documentary. It was released as over the course of me making other episodes, but I decided to watch this, number one, because it sparked a lot of political outrage globally, and I believe that is a very big power of documentaries. That's what sort of pulls me to the art itself, because I believe that non-fiction content or documentaries per se have the power of, number one, bringing justice, number two, bringing political change, and number three, very effective awareness of what's happening around the world. And this documentary stands testament to that, because it has resulted in protests, it has resulted in people actually batting an eye to what's happening in Russia, and it genuinely is making people question their beliefs. That is very important in today's day and age, because we all are very susceptible to what we read, what we watch, and we never have developed the skill to question what we listen to or what we watch, and it's very important that we do that. So that is something I believe documentaries can do, and this documentary is a brilliant example of that. So that is why I, more than anything, this is why I value this documentary, because in the large scale, in the large picture, it has successfully made us question what we believe or what we think. I'm using we in a very general sense. It has impacted a lot of people in Russia, but this stands true for a lot of governments across the world, and it has done that. These are the kind of documentaries that we need to sort of watch and open our eyes to, because yeah, we all love making those fun reels, watching like funny vines and reading memes and stuff, but like I said, there's enough, we don't know enough about reality to sort of escape from it yet. So this documentary sort of proves my point, basically. So yeah, I just had this thought when I watched it, and I felt that I just needed to tell you guys as well. Definitely a must watch. If you are someone who is wanting to fight for political change, or sort of getting into understanding politics on a global scale, not just in India, want to keep yourself aware of what's happening around the world, general knowledge and current affairs wise, these are the pieces of art that you definitely need to watch and understand, because we know, okay, who's the president, who's the prime minister of this country, but who really is he, right? We never sort of delve into the details of such questions. So I believe that A Palace for Putin, the documentary made by Alexei Navalny, is a definite recommendation from my side, and I will definitely link it in the description below for you guys to catch it. I somehow feel that it may be banned from his official channel, because you never know what governments can do, but I'm 100% sure a lot of people have taken a copy of it illegally and uploaded it online. Even though I don't believe in it, just like the Scientology documentary, I will sort of find an alternative link if that happens. But otherwise, please do watch it. He's narrated it in Russian, but there are English subtitles, and he's very quirky when he narrates, and he's very sarcastic. There's a lot of dark humor involved, so absolute treat to watch that way, but at the same time very bewildering. So please catch the documentary on YouTube. I will link it in the description, and please subscribe if you haven't already, because I don't look at the numbers, I just look at the kind of content that I'm making. But the more you engage with me, the more motivation I get to create more videos. Thank you so much for staying so long with me, for those of you who have subscribed in the early days. And please engage, like, share, subscribe and comment what you feel about the documentary and the video I've made here as well. And stay tuned for the next one. Thank you for watching, and please stay safe. See ya.